How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another Big Gold Belt Media Review, an animated show this time by yours truly, Damien G, as I tackle Batman Doom Comes to Gotham. Oh, man. I should include the asterisk as Prohibition era Batman. I think I should get that out of the way. I went into this blind, not realizing this was part of a 3-comic series back in 2001. Off the bat, if you like happy endings, this is not your movie. If you like Silver Age campiness, this is not your movie. Trust me on this one. This is not your movie. As I said before, this is a 1920s take on a lot of the Batman characters. You'll notice the portrayals of said characters are very Lovecraftian. And if I say Lovecraftian, I think a lot of you know what I'm talking about. I don't even want to call it body horror. I don't even want to call it anything close to Raimi, but I think Lovecraft is the best way I can put that because I did not have any expectations, to be quite honest. I went in blind, as I said before, and this story took a lot of twists and turns. This covers a different telling of Batman's family being killed in Crime Alley, the 20 years he spends away from Gotham. And we have, I'm flustered because we have a Grayson, we have a Todd, we have a Kane, we have an Alfred, a Gordon, a Barbara Gordon, a Poison Ivy, Two-Face, Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul, Killer Croc, just to name a few, Green Arrow, as you've never seen them before. And I laugh that way because that's how I laughed while watching this movie. So I'm going to read this off again. We have Batman, we have a Kane, we have an Oliver Queen, we have James Gordon, we have a Harvey Dent, we have an Alfred, we have a Dick Grayson, we have a Jason Todd, we have a Ra's al Ghul, we have a Martha Wayne, a Lucius Fox, we have a Jason Blood and Etrigan appearance. So I should tell you, if you've watched Justice League Dark, what we're getting into. Kirk Langstrom, you follow the Man-Bat. We have the Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin. We have Poison Ivy, as well as Thomas and Martha Wayne. That's a mouthful of Batman characters who have been taken from the annals of DC Comics and put in a 1920s Prohibition-era Batman. Holy old school throwback Batman. I don't even know where to continue with this. The graphics overall, let's talk about animation. The animation, as I said, was very Lovecraftian in the way they drew a lot of these characters. A tad macabre, but considering it was the 20s, that's the motif they were going for, you had to expect them to have a different type of animation style, and I think it hit it right on the head. From the clothing, from the way people spoke, the voice actors spoke, to the way that the animated characters moved. Not just what the clothes they wore, the cars they drove, the towns they were in. There's a lot of callbacks to Prohibition in the 1920s. There's a lot of snazzy 1920s cars in this film. If you've read Spider-Man Noir, I call this Batman Noir as I was watching this. And it was something. It was definitely something. It's a complete imagining of a lot of other DC Batman Rogues characters. I'm just going to say it. One of the first things that caught my attention was the first appearance of Oswald Cobblepot. And close your eyes, kids, because he's naked in the first 5 minutes of this movie. We got a naked penguin running around. We got mutant penguins running around Gotham and icebergs. And apparently this all started because Bruce, when he left Gotham after his parents' death, decided to travel the world picking up random orphans in random towns, which is why we have Grayson, a Todd, and a Kane. And an Alfred, of course, because you can't go anywhere without Alfred, because we all know Alfred's really the boss. There's a touching moment toward the end of the movie between Alfred and Batman, and you can tell it's a father-son dynamic. This is the most since Flashpoint Paradox that I've seen Thomas Wayne used in a story, especially for the DC animated universe. And I know this is a one-shot, as I said, based on a 3-comic arc back in, I believe, in 2000, 2001. limited series back in 2002. Wow, that's a long freaking time ago. Wow. So here are some notes I took, some things I want to just get off my chest as I was watching this. Mutant Penguins. He was gone for 20 years, came back to Gotham because he sensed an evil coming to Gotham, which is the doom that came to Gotham. Like I said, there is a Jason Blood Etrigan appearance in this movie. I'm a big fan of Etrigan, especially if you've watched Justice League Dark Apocalypse or Justice League Dark. I am a fan of the Demon Etrigan, especially when he was in... Was he in it? Yeah, I believe he was in the Suicide Squad cartoon movies as well as Justice... Was it Justice League? I believe Justice League. Don't quote me on that. I just remember him extensively in my brain. Oliver Queen's dressed like a paladin. That's the easiest way I can say this. You know, when you watch this isn't really spoilers. These are things that just caught my attention. I'm not giving away the entire plot here, but just know, as I said, this is a very different imagining of everybody in this genre. And if you're not ready for it, you're going to be shocked, especially the appearance of Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent takes a bit of a... If you remember Batman the Animated Series and you remember how Harvey became Two-Face and the reason it became Two-Face, some of that is taken into consideration here. As I said, there's a whole bunch of random appearances in places you would not expect. Killer Croc pops up out of nowhere. We got a Ra's al Ghul appearance. A very interesting approach on the Al Ghuls, if I'll say that. You have to watch to really understand it, but it isn't as whitewashed as it's been made to look in other media. I'll just say that. I think it was a really welcome way to draw them and animate them in this series. We learn a lot about Thomas Wayne. We learn a lot about the occult in this movie. We realize that Thomas Wayne was cool with Oliver Queen's, I guess, ancestors, and they did some shenanigans. That kind of comes back to bite Bruce in the ass, among others. But you have to watch it for you to fully understand this and fully grasp what I'm saying. As I'm looking over my notes to see if I left anything out. Oh, we have a Barbara Gordon appearance in a way you wouldn't expect. We have a Hugo Strange reference. All of you who know, Lucius Fox is there, not voiced by Morgan Freeman, unfortunately. It's just an old school, really old school way of looking at Batman. Now, if you watch Gotham by Gaslight, you kind of can put two and two together. But someone like me who went into this blind, who just kept saying, oh my God, while watching this. And I'm not the kind of reviewer that's going to be prim and proper the entire time. I'm going to come across like a fan that's watching it from the first time. And let me tell you, this movie went from a boring C- to a sturdy B+ as we went along this movie. Took a lot of left turns at Albuquerque that I didn't expect them to take. Batman here is a lot less martial artist, a lot more, not even a lot more detective. I want to say he's a little bit more intrinsic, and he's a little bit more, if you remember how Batman likes to use logic and reason, and he doesn't really like the occult. If you go back to, let's say, Justice League Dark, it takes Batman going through a bit of an identity crisis in more ways than one to fully understand what he can do to stop the doom that is coming to Gotham. And it's not the villain you think when this movie gets really going. Let me just throw that out there. I'm not going to spoil who the main villain is, but you'd be surprised. Everybody fills in their roles perfectly. One quick spoiler, I didn't see a Joker, so if you're expecting to see the Clown Prince of Crime, get over it. You're not going to see it. And as I said at the beginning of this review, if you're into Silver Age campiness, this is not for you. If you're into Batman the Animated Series, this is not for you. Even if you're into the latest of the DCAU, where the Flashpoint Paradox, Justice League War, etc., this is not for you. This is a rather dark, and I don't even mean to say Justice League dark. It is a very dark and brooding telling of these tales of the Batman characters. This is starring David Giuntoli as Batman, Christopher Gorman as Oliver Queen, and Tati Gabrielle as Miss Kane. You're going to have to watch the rest of this to find out how everything else falls into place. But this drops tomorrow, 3/28/2023 on Blu-ray and digital downloads. Again, Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham gets a solid B+ from me because it's pleasantly, surprisingly good. I'm Damian Gracia, otherwise known as Damien G. Find us at Big Gold Belt Media across the board. Find me on all your social media platforms at Damien G Show. Rank all these movies, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I'll see you on the next one here on Big Gold Belt Media.